Hi everyone. Porsche 718 was the name emblazoned across a series of mid-engined, flat-4 race cars that competed in the late 50s and early 60s. There has been something of a U-turn, though. As before, there are several tiers of Boxster ownership, echoed by the 718 Cayman range, with a very welcome surprise at the upper echelons. Once again there are standard, S and GTS versions, while there's a Boxster T for the first time, too. Plenty to digest, so buckle in. The Boxster and Boxster T use a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo, producing 296 bhp and good for 0 to 62 miles per hour anywhere between 5.3 and 4.7 seconds, depending on whether you've spec'd Sport Chrono and gone for the 6-speed manual or 7-speed PDK gearbox, though all top out at 170 miles per hour. The T is the lighter, slightly harder cored variant, but largely at a superficial level. We're talking fabric door pulls like in a 911 GT3 RS and the ability to bin your stereo and aircon, but there's no fire extinguisher or such like in here. Think of it instead as a value for money rating of the nicest bits of the Boxster's options list, with the suspension, wheels and locking differential. Then there's the Boxster S, which is a larger 2.5-liter 4-cylinder turbo with 345 bhp. Dipping a 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint down to 4.6 seconds and lifting the top speed to 177 miles per hour. It used to share its engine with the Boxster GTS, but that has now gained a 4-liter 6-cylinder engine parachuted down from the Cayman GT4 to once again restore proper noise and throttle response to the world's neatest handling roadster. It also enjoys a bit of an options list haul and looks a bit meaner and more assertive than its base car, too. An important footnote is the 718 Spyder. No longer a Boxster in name, but still very much a Boxster in principle. It's the hardest cord of the lot and is a focused old thing deserving of its own review. What is it like on the road? This 718 Boxster is a car of two halves. If we're talking handling, it's as fantastic as ever. Perhaps even better, given a turbocharged engine provides so much more low-down torque, thus allowing you to excite the rear axle at saner speeds and indulge in the fine work of Porsche's talented chassis engineers more often. Porsche does things with electronic steering setups that shouldn't be possible, and its systems get better with each passing generation. All of the controls and touch points are superb and the Boxster remains lighter and more athletic than just about any direct competitor. But now we must discuss the engine. If you'd not been lucky enough to experience any of the 718's ancestors, you likely wouldn't feel too disheartened by its engine. The engine is functionally good, like we say, a bit of low-rev vigor livens things up nicely, and whichever version you buy, it's fast. If someone stuck an S badge on the base car you'd probably not tell. Without such a life-affirming soundtrack, though, it becomes a component rather than central to the whole experience. You'll chase its torque rather than its revs, and that's a big change on before. The sports exhaust used to be an essential option. Spending 6 months with a base 718 Cayman proved to us you do get used to its noise in time, and its circa 30 miles per gallon fuel economy is a small improvement on the flat 6 before it, if not by enough of a stretch to warrant the loss of character. Despite this unpicking of some of the Boxster's appeal, it's still the best car in the class. The extra power enhances a chassis that's even more brilliant than before. If only it sounded like it used to. Which, in the 718 GTS 4.0, it does. But it's about so much more than noise, our love for this setup. It's about how the more natural, turbo-free power delivery complements one of the best handling cars on sale. It's a great car to own, solidly built, talented at both long-distance drudgery and road blasting, and with 2 large luggage compartments, front and rear. Separate storage areas provide a good way of keeping mucky outdoors gear separate from nicer stuff, too. On paper, fuel economy has improved markedly, but in reality, it's less of an improvement. You'll probably get a couple of mpg extra, maybe around 30 miles per gallon, although the CO2 cut over the old 6-cylinder does make this a more tax-friendly option. Buying a Boxster can't be easy, mind. With 2 engines and 4 trim levels to choose from, and a murky middle ground where the 296 bhp Boxster T costs little less than a 345 bhp Boxster S, picking the car best suited for you will involve several journeys through the online configurator. The addition of the 4-liter GTS has just made picking a Boxster a heck of a lot easier for old fussbots like us, though. If you want to experience the best chassis in the business, it's here. And thankfully the 6-cylinder is back, too. What we have here is, still, the best roadster on sale. But rather than look down on its rivals as a dominant, reigning leader, it's kicking them away as they snap aggressively at its heels. Sure, we're grumpily wishing for an increasingly bygone age when cars revved higher, sounded better and didn't have to tackle an assault course of regulations during their development. Porsche's engineers must have been as heavy-hearted as anyone to learn the glorious old flat six was outmoded. Especially when a car is otherwise so close to perfection. The chassis really is one of the very best in the business. The Boxster's still brilliant. And now the 6-cylinder engine is back for the GTS 4.0, it's more brilliant still if you spend the right money. Thanks for watching.